Why is there a tomato? I don't know why it took me 7 episodes to realize why is there a tomato devil. Oh, poor Denji. Oh no, Denji, why? Why? Why, Denji? It's like a mixture of being feeling bad for Denji and at the same time just wanting to smack him. Oh, this episode, why? I should have known something really terrible was going to happen. I think what we're establishing is that Denji has like the worst luck when it comes to anything in interaction with females. It's like with the whole thing with power, it's not what it seems, and it's almost a letdown. And then Himeno, just why did you swallow it? Why did like a Power is just absolutely losing it. She knows exactly what's going to happen. Power and Denji have already established so much mutual understanding, and so she knows exactly what's going to happen. I can't get enough of Power's narration from the sideline, basically. Just her narration from the sideline, screwing around with things and just getting a huge kick out of Denji and what he's going through. It's the same with the whole situation with the contract for, giving up Denji to the eternal devil. And now it's just this, like, okay, just, I know exactly what it's going to do. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. Anyways, Episode 7 of Chainsaw Man was a great episode. Besides being completely and utterly disgusted, it did a really good job of really starting to flesh out these characters, really getting a sense of each and one of these characters. And additionally, it feels like they're really ramping up this idea that Denji is a target. It does seem like we're kind of pushing more and more into the idea of establishing that these devils aren't just like mindless beings. They are sentient in some way. And so, obviously, with the Eternal Devil, it was wanting Denji. But it slowly over time, as Denji's ripping away at it, it's going, I knew it. I knew you were alive. And again, like in the previous episode, it said that they were the one that wanted to consume the Chainsaw Devil. They wanted to be the one to kill him. So they knew who he was. They knew what Denji was. And so why would these devils know who Denji is? They obviously have like a hit out for him or something. Like they know he's either a threat or Pochita himself, the Chainsaw Devil, seems to have been something of the past. The devil said at some point that you're much weaker than you used to be. It kind of implies that there's this history of Pochita themselves. Again, it could be just the fact that they've established that Denji's going around and killing these devils, and maybe we don't have a sense of how many he's taken out yet. As far as we know, he's only taken out the Bat Devil and technically one Fiend. And then you have the Leech one, which was taken out by Hayakawa and the Fox Devil. But now we're establishing that these things know who he is, and they find him to be a threat. And so they're after him. So that's what we're getting from Hayakawa and Himeno, is they know these devils are coming after him. There's an increased amount of devils that are going specifically after Denji. And so they got to figure something out. And they think that Makima herself knows. Yeah, it was crazy. It took 3 whole days of Denji ripping at this thing before it finally asked it to kill it. You know, it was great though, because like at some point it establishes like he's ripping at the stuff, and at some point he's like losing too much blood. And so he realizes at some point he's like this perpetual motion machine. Like as long as he can destroy, he can then consume. It restores him, and then he can destroy more, consume. It gets more powerful and more powerful as he goes along. And I also like the fact that at some point he just kind of falls over, and Himeno actually reaches down with the ghost hand and restarts his heart. Like he gets his neck completely spun around, falls on the ground, and she just pulls the string and he gets right back up, starts consuming again. It was kind of an interesting little layout there they had. Pretty much like Himeno's like a healer from a distance just to get his heart running again, and then he's down there doing his own like self-restoration as he's just tearing up stuff. It's just really kind of hinted at how powerful he could be. And I mean, that's something that technically Himeno picks up on. Like it looked like she's excited. Like she's excited this guy is absolutely off his rocker, and he's unstoppable. He can keep going and restoring himself. Which, yes, kind of plays into a little bit of backstory with her talking with Kishibe. And Kishibe's talking about, the fact that she's lost all these people before her. And it really hits heavy on the idea of the rookies in this place. And once again, what they established in the previous episode, that most people don't make it very far. But they're being very specific here. And again, it plays into what happened with Kobane in the last episode. People that are sane, normal people, they're not being offensive about this. They're saying normal people that don't have screws loose, is the worst for this job. Because the devils can play right into what they fear, and that fear fuels them, makes them stronger, and they can't beat them. But again, devils themselves fear devil hunters that have screws loose, because they just They can't play into their fears. But even still, hinting at the idea that Himeno and Aki cannot defeat the Gun Devil. Because they're so straightforward, they came there with a purpose, which is good, but being so straightforward, the devils know exactly what to play into. They know exactly how to manipulate them, and that will build that fear, and that will then make them stronger. They also indicated that following this conversation with Kishibe, which, by the way, Kinjo Suda, I'm on board. Yay, we got a Kinjo Suda in here. It hints that after this conversation, Himeno actually tried to get Aki to quit, to go to the private sector. Like, this conversation with Kishibe, she now realizes, yeah, we're doomed to fail. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. And Aki is so driven. He's already collected so many pieces. That seems to be his driving force. He wants to find. Unlike everybody else that joins the public safety and wants to take out this gun devil, they're not as focused as he is. He's straightforward focused. He will get after this. And he's going to eventually find it. And he's not going to be able to defeat it. So she wants to pull him out of it. Like, she doesn't want to lose anybody else, and she doesn't want to lose Aki. So she wants to pull out and go to the private sector, which is, again, plays into her current feelings. Yeah, Denji's nuts. He's exactly who we need. And that was echoing what Aki did in the previous episode. He protected Denji. He's exactly what we need. He is nuts. Which, yes, leads to them following this whole situation with the hotel to have a welcoming party so everybody can get to know each other. But it was also partly because, Himeno brings it up initially because, yes, she just wants to drink, but additionally because she feels like they need to get to know each other. And there's specifically an issue with Arai and Kobani wanting to quit, obviously. Doesn't seem like they're going to work out very well here. But yeah, that cuts to the welcoming party. Everybody gets there. Kobane shows up late. She's super cute looking. She's not yelling, so she's cute. as long as Kobane doesn't scream, she's cute. But no, it was great because we had a little introductions. Denji obviously stands up, introduced himself. He's 16 years old, Denji, and everybody's freaked out about how young he is. Kobane stands up. She says that she's 20 and she's got like 8 sisters. And she doesn't want to reveal her contract. Of course, we can't reveal her contract. We can't know that she's got this crazy ability. So she's just keeping it a secret for now. We'll reveal it later when she saves everybody or something. But additionally, Arai is contracted also with the Fox Devil. And this is where they point out that, yes, the Fox Devil likes to make contracts with humans. Like, just all over the place. But specifically, Himeno points out that only the cute ones are allowed to draw her face out, her head out. So, apparently she's very... I don't know what part Arai is able to pull out, if he's cute enough to pull out the head, or if he only gets a paw or something. But yeah, Denji eventually asks for that kiss that he's expecting from Himeno. She's like, oh, let me get drunk, a little bit more drunk. And then eventually Makima shows up, and then suddenly he doesn't want the kiss. But then she eventually just jumps on him and, yes, gives him his kiss. And it was nice and slurpy. And then eventually it was really warm, and the texture was off. And then he realized she's puking in his mouth. And then Power gets all excited. He can't not swallow it. Anything that has nutrition in it, he's got to swallow it. And sure enough, just gulp. And I'm like, oh gosh, that just got super disgusting. Denji. My man. Anyways. It at least led to a decently cool scene with Arai helping him puke. And then at some point, he's like, I'm jealous of how powerful you are. And Denji's like, why are you jealous of somebody whose first kiss tastes like puke? He's like, fair point. But yeah, this wraps up with everybody splitting off, and at some point we realize that Denji was carried off by Himeno. She takes him back to his place, and she seems to be jealous that everybody is interested in Makima, and then she wants to do it with Denji. So, we'll see. But yeah, quite a bit of little nuggets kind of placed here. I think it's interesting, the idea that both Himeno and Aki are starting to question Makima herself, that she knows something is going on. Again, that the fact that all these devils are coming after Denji, there's something special about him. She obviously notes there's something special about him because they're all noting that she never leaves anymore. Like, she finally went to Kyoto in order to get reinforcements because these devils are coming after Denji specifically. So they need to, I guess, create some sort of offset for how much devils are coming to the area, or they just wanted to protect Denji. But they obviously know that something's special about her because she's not leaving as much. Like, she used to travel all the time, but now she's always here. She knows something special about Denji. And again, the devils themselves indicate that there is something about Denji's past. And again, I don't know if that's just the current, like, this brief past of him being the Chainsaw Devil, or, again, is Pochita something of the past doing something crazy? Did Pochita do something absolutely insane in the past, and they want to get rid of Pochita. I guess technically Denji has been using Pochita for quite a while, but he hasn't been making much money with the Yakuza. It's not like he took down anything huge, or at least it doesn't indicate that. He was just taking down things like Tomato. I just now thought about it. Why is there a Tomato? I don't know why it took me 7 episodes to realize, why is there a Tomato Devil? Who's afraid of Tomato Devils or tomatoes? I guess children? I guess it's something that can be built up in children. Children don't like tomatoes, so they just like, ew, I don't want tomatoes, and that, I don't know. Sorry. Anyways, I sneak peeked a couple pages ahead, and holy crap, stuff is going to go down, so I'm pretty sure we'll get into it in the next episode, unless they really drag out some of these scenes before then, but I'm not going to say anything, don't worry, but I am super hyped for next episode. Next episode looks like, again, things are going to get crazy, and I cannot wait for it. So I hope you guys will join me for that. I hope you guys enjoyed my impressions on episode 7. If you did, make sure that like button down below, comment, let me know what's thought of the episode. I was going to ask you, would you swallow, but no. Why that randomly come to my head? Anyways, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports us. Y'all take care. I don't know why you support me.